The Islamic State Khorasan group claimed the suicide bombing of another Shiite mosque on Friday, this time in the Afghan city of Kandahar, that killed at least 41 people and wounded scores more. In a statement released on its Telegram channels, the jihadist group said that two suicide bombers carried out separate attacks on different parts of the mosque while worshippers prayed inside. The assault in the southern city, the Taliban's spiritual heartland, came just a week after a deadly suicide attack on Shiite worshippers at a mosque in northern Kunduz, which was also claimed by the ISIS group. Shiites are estimated to make up about 10% of the Afghan population. Many of them are Hazara, an ethnic group that has been persecuted in Afghanistan for decades. Britain's Metropolitan Police said on Saturday the murder of a British lawmaker, David Ames, in Essex on Friday had been declared as a terrorist incident, with the investigation being led by its terrorism command. Ames, a 69-year-old from Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Conservative Party, was attacked at about midday in a Methodist church east of London. A 25-year-old man was arrested at the scene on suspicion of murder, and detectives have said special counterterrorism officers were leading the initial investigation. Politicians described the attack as an assault on democracy. Police gave no details about a possible motive for the killing, the second fatal attack on a British lawmaker in the last 5 years, which has prompted questions about the safety of politicians. Broadcaster Sky News said the arrested man was understood to be a British national of Somali heritage. Russia claims one of its military vessels on Friday chased away a U.S. naval destroyer that attempted to violate Russian territorial waters during drills with the Chinese Navy in the Sea of Japan, but Washington says it's not true. The U.S. military said its guided missile destroyer was conducting routine operations in international waters when a Russian destroyer came within 60 meters of the American ship, though all interactions were safe and professional. Earlier, the Russian Defense Ministry said the crew of the Russian anti-submarine vessel had radioed a warning to the American ship that it was, quote, in an area closed to navigation due to exercises with artillery fire. It's the second time in 4 months Russia has said it chased a NATO member warship from its waters. In June, Russia accused a British destroyer of breaching its territorial waters off Crimea in the Black Sea and said it had forced it away. Britain also rejected Moscow's account of that incident, saying at the time its ship was operating lawfully in Ukrainian waters. Central Africa Republic president declared a ceasefire on Friday in the government's long-running conflict with rebels, saying all but two of the main armed groups had agreed to put down their weapons. The country was plunged into a bloody civil war after a coup in 2013, and while violence has decreased over the past 3 years, armed groups still control large swaths of the country. He announced on national radio, quote, this immediate unilateral ceasefire is a demonstration of my firm intent to prioritize the path of dialogue after 8 years of war. The Central African government and the armed groups have previously attempted several ceasefires and even peace accords, but none have stuck. After the president's re-election in December, he promised to seek national reconciliation. However, efforts have stalled. And the gunman who killed 14 students and 3 staff members at a Parkland, Florida high school will plead guilty to their murders, his attorneys said Friday, bringing some closure to a South Florida community more than 3 years after an attack that sparked a nationwide movement for gun control in the U.S. The guilty plea would set up a penalty phase where Nicholas Cruz would fight against the death penalty and hope for life without parole. The trial's been delayed by the pandemic and also arguments between the prosecution and defense over what evidence and testimony could be presented to the jury. Some victims' families have expressed frustration over the delays, but the president of the group they formed expressed relief that the case now seems closer to resolution.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.